Oh, hello. Oh, hello. I'm just reading the best newly published book you can imagine. Making headway, making progress. Um,
Sorry, did we disturb you there?
I'll be fine. Hey, who does not bring books to school? I ask you. And in Soul School, you bring a book like this. Let me turn it the right way so
Well,
people can see it.
coincidentally.
I know this is my own personal copy that I adore and that I am ripping through whenever I have a moment to myself. It's the kind of book, Rupert's new book. Oh, hello, class is in session. Hello, everyone. So lovely to see you. I look like I don't know, a swamp hag. I know that. I do. I slapped a little makeup on so that I could say I actually made an attempt. But, when you're in the midst of moving, you just do what you have to do, how you have to do it, cover all your bases and move on. So, but Rupert, you were kind enough to send me a copy of Realities this week. And I love it. It is the kind of book where I have to put it down and think about it,
Good.
and then return. And I am told that my books are exactly the same. Color me surprised that we both write basically the same way. Um, I want to welcome you as my first and only, I think, my only co-host I've ever had on Soul School. Jeff is off at a family function tonight. And, I'm perfectly capable of doing the show by myself. I have, he has. But I really wanted to bring you on tonight. For those who are watching that happened to miss Mystical Awakenings last night, I thought you were splendid. You did an absolutely phenomenal job. And I know it's easier when you know the people that you're talking to. It certainly is than, going like a cold call with a stranger in an interview. But it was more than that. It was a simpatico. It was a mutual understanding that you achieved with them a couple of weeks ago in Houghton Lake. And it was beautiful. And I loved every moment of it. The only thing that was very frustrating, I'll tell you, very frustrating, was that you would say things that I would want to respond to. And I wasn't in the chat, and I was just watching it on my TV, like propped up on my desk, and I'm just watching it. I'm like, and then I start talking out loud, making a comment or answering a question or just, interjecting my opinion into the conversation, and no one could hear me. So I thought, well, we'll just cover some of that ground again. I'll just watch it again. I'll make notes about what I want to discuss, what I want to extrapolate out further with you. And then we'll just go from there and do a whole nother show because, it's my show. I can do what I want. But it was very gracious of you to join me tonight, dear. I appreciate it. And, not only do I want to talk about your book, but first and foremost, Rupert, you're a truly fascinating human being. You're like phyllo dough. You pull back a layer and there's another layer, and then you pull back the next layer and there's another layer. And, it's like peeling an onion. It just, it takes layer after layer after layer to get to the core. It's like looking at the rings of a tree. And there's just so much there. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight is that, basically you and I do the same thing. We are as much the student as we are the teacher. We get as much out of our encounters with others than they get from us. I truly believe that. And you really, based on everything that I've seen that you've done, the healing meditation links and all of that, that I've seen, other interviews that you've done with me, hours and hours spent just talking together at Houghton Lake and, back and forth on the way and which was great because that was like 7 hours active audience for me. I mean, oh God, that's perfect. Um, but I really see a connective tissue between us and what we do and what our mission is.
Mm.
And so I thought that you might want to, for those who might be tuned in and have never met you before, which I can't believe is, I can't believe, but you know, there could be somebody that doesn't know who you are yet. Why don't you start the show tonight by giving us kind of a synopsis of what you do and how you do it? And then if you feel inspired to do so, do a meditation for us as well. You know, your eternal or universal love meditation, which is so beautiful.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Yeah, I'm a very logical person. I'm a logician. So I have used logic to learn all about reality. And in order to understand reality, I have learnt science, but I've also spent my life researching and trying to understand everything that's outside of science that is real, things in the paranormal, uh, things like alien friends, things like life after death, spirits. So I now do a number of things with the knowledge that I've acquired. I go out and do in-person events outdoors like you do,
Mhm.
and you call it conscious cosmic contact. And honestly, I don't think for me what I call it matters. I'm making connections to these
Yeah,
beings.
right.
One category, one label you could put upon it is CE5, which stands for Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, or human initiated contact
Mhm.
with these beings. But I don't follow anybody else's protocols or procedures or methodology when I do
Yeah,
that.
neither do I.
I
Do
do
my
my
own.
own and you do your own.
Yeah.
So we have different procedures, but our goals are still the same,
Mhm.
to connect peacefully
Yes.
in friendship with these beings. We're not there trying to ask them to save us or trying to get technology from them. It's all about peace, love, friendship.
I've
So
asked them to save us a few times. Just not, I have to raise my hand in class. I have asked them to save us a few times,
that's
knowing that they can't, but feeling so desperate. Like
yeah.
right on, you know, just before the war in Ukraine began is when I got my most profound message. And I told them, I'm like, you know, if there was ever a time to get down here, this would be it. This is now. Do something. Stop this before there's, you know, what happened. And the message that I got back is, if we are here, this planet and its people are in crisis. We are here. And that was enough to quell the storm that was brewing within me. So, but anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, not at all. And that's another important similarity between you and me, is we understand the message that these beings are giving to us.
Mhm.
They are giving to us very clear messages, and in your new documentary, "We Are Not Alone," that message is made quite clear, and we both understand that, and so we are both very concerned about the contents of that message and the implications for us and the planet Earth. And you and I are both working hard to try and overcome some of these problems that humanity is facing, that these beings are also facing. So we have that in common also. Um, and I also lead meditations of all different varieties. Once you learn how to meditate, just a basic meditation, from that platform, you can do a number of different interesting things. One is astrally project and remote view, see what is elsewhere by taking your conscious mind to other places, even other times. So that's something I teach. Also healing, because we have spiritual bodies right now. And when we are ill in any way, it is not just our biological body that is ill or impaired, it is our biological and our spiritual body. And we can manipulate, we have the power to manipulate our spirit, ourselves at will. And we can do that throughout our spirit, even on the inside, in a way that if we were going to manipulate our biological body on the inside, we'd need a surgeon, or we'd need to throw in medication or something. But we can do it by will with our spirit, just by learning certain techniques. So I teach self-healing. I also have a lot of both terrestrial and extraterrestrial alien friends, and they come to us sometimes, and they do help us with healing. They do guide us. They do give us support in some of the things that we are trying to do. So that's most of the things I do. I also write as
Allow me. Lovely, lovely book. I'm only about maybe about 50 pages in, and I am transfixed. And you know, I need a good night's sleep tonight, Rupert, and I'm not going to get it because of you.
Well, thank you very much for reading that. It's not the easiest of books to read, I think, but I think it's meaningful, and I think there's value in reading it. So, well
When
done for
I am
sticking with
finished, I'm going to write you a review and post it everywhere
it.
because I'm already sucked in, totally sucked in.
Awesome. Let me ask, which character are you most?
I'm not discussing it.
Okay.
I'm gonna be doing it. I'm gonna be giving stuff away. You know, if you get me going, I'm gonna no. I'm gonna wait until it's done, and I'll be done with it absolutely through it this weekend, and then I will. I'll send you my review to get your permission to
Mhm.
post it. Is I don't want to give. I'm just bad about being a spoiler about things, and I don't want to give anything away. I don't even want to talk about the characters right now because um, I want people to have their own fresh experience of it. Not It's why when we're out at night and I see something, I'll just usually just like wave, blow a kiss or something. I try not to say, "Oh, everybody look there." Meanwhile, you are sitting beside me and you've got your green laser and you've got your night vision camera, which I know I'm not allowed to touch because we all know what happens. And so you're pointing out to them, and that's fine. That's great, but it can't be me because I think I see things that other people might not see, first of all, because my eye is just so trained to it. And I think that they're very selective about who they present to. And if you've got 200 people, maybe 50 will all see exactly the same thing, and everyone else, nothing. And there's got to be a reason for that, whether it's, you know, that they're all being treated as individuals and being allowed to see what they're ready to see or what. But you know, frankly, I was not given that opportunity when I was a child. I guess they just decided that it was time and I was ready, because nobody gave me a chance to say no, I'm not ready. And it was, you know, as a very young child, it was an absolute paradigm shift for me. I never thought about anything in the world the same way after I saw those vessels pass over the farm, which is a part of We Are Not Alone. But I hope that the message came through. I haven't even seen the whole movie yet. I've seen like clips of it and snippets of it. I've been so friggin' busy. Um, but I hope that it left the impression that this is really all about love. This
Yeah.
is about universal love and embrace. And, you know, don't let anybody scare you into any kind of submission having to do with our galactic family. Um, I was doing an interview with The Sun in London the other day, and Serena said, that she thought that they looked down on us like we were just nothing but a bed of fire ants, and that they were just more concerned about preserving the planet. And I had to beg to differ with her. I just don't think that that's true. And because it seems to me logically, and oh, by the way, you have to take logic in order to get a degree in philosophy. And I got straight A's in logic. So by deductive reasoning, you tell me if I'm wrong, you're the scientist. Tell me if I'm wrong, but by deductive reasoning, if we're the ones that are destroying the planet, polluting the planet, harming the planet with everything from nuclear and hydrogen bombs, atomic bombs, to just the poison that we pour into our water and our air. And they were more concerned about the planet than they are about the human beings living on it. Could they not have wiped out the pestilence that was causing the problem long ago?
Yeah.
See, I knew I was right. I know I'm right.
Yeah.
They love us. They love us. They just want us to get our act together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so
may I ask you, because you know this show is a little bit about both the similarities and the differences between us. How do you define your mission?
I want to save the world. I know that sounds hokey, cliche. I know it does, but I want to play a part in saving the world. I don't want it to, and every living being in it.
Yeah.
And so I live in a constant state of despair, in conflict with my optimism and hopefulness, because I do think we're smart enough to solve our problems. I do believe that human beings are inherently good, that all they want is to live a decent life and leave something of this planet and of themselves behind to their children. There are a lot of times that I'm very glad I never felt the need to breed. I look at my nieces and nephews and all of their kids running around. Seemingly, they're all little, so oblivious. They're just having normal childhoods. But what they'll face in adulthood,
Yeah.
and the damage that's already been done, and some of which might be irreversible, weighs on my soul, not just heavily on my mind, but on my soul, because none of it has to be this way. And if I were, well, Tenny calls me Queen of the Alternate Universe, or the Queen of High Strangeness. He alternates with his titles for me. I don't know why. Maybe I'm both. But if I had a magic wand, in fact, I do have a magic wand. It's on the other side of the house in my office on my English roll-top desk. And I routinely wave it around and say, okay, I project out, this is what I want the world to be like. I set an intention for the world. And it is a world in which there are no, the separation is an illusion. It's a self-perpetuating myth. And it's not our reality. It's not the truth of us. We are all connected, like it or not. We are all connected. We all cry tears. We all bleed red. We all have myriad emotions that we have to cope with, and people that we love, and creations that we create, and everything that is crammed into consciousness, we have access to. And if we're all tapping into that same cosmic consciousness, then there's got to be a way that we can come to a peaceful conclusion, when the truth is that the entire history of humanity has been rooted in war and conflict. And that has to stop. And we have to see our own eyes in each other as a mirror image reflection. And that's why I wanted you to do your beautiful meditation about universal love, because
Yes.
I think everything is one thing. It's all energy. And if we channel it with hopefulness and positivity, we can change the world. And that's why I'm so drawn to you, because I believe your mission is identical to my own.
Yes. Yes, I agree. Um, your mission is equivalent to my mission. I define my mission by stating my vision for the future. And I've said this before, but my vision for the future is universal peace, universal love, universal happiness. And a lot of times people don't really analyze that fully. What does the word universal mean? That means every conscious sentient being in the universe. That includes this world, but it also includes the whole of our solar system, the whole of our galaxy, etc., the whole universe. And I know that that's part of what you do, even though you define your mission as the world. You are improving vastly humanity's and the world's relationships with these non-terrestrial beings. And so you're extending your mission that is saving the world to saving the solar system or the galaxy. So yeah, our missions and our visions are equivalent. Now, one thing that I think is important when I give my meditations regarding universal peace, love, and happiness is to point out that we're not saying that we're going to extend our love to everybody apart from that person there who I don't like, that person over there who has a different belief, that person over there that did something I didn't like, that person over there that was mean to me last year. That's not how universal peace works. That's not how universal love works. Most of the conflict on this planet is a response to something that somebody has done that's we don't like. Now we can't. It's pretty tricky trying to stop people from doing annoying things, but we can stop ourselves from propagating the disharmony by not responding to that unless it's absolutely necessary. And there are times when we can't let something pass, but most of the conflict that goes on the planet, we don't need if we could just hold back our desire to get revenge or seek justice, which a lot of the time is really us trying to get revenge, or to discipline people. What I am going to do in my meditation, and it might be a stretch for some people, but I'm going to say, even though we may have differences, we are still going to extend love to everybody. We don't need to like everybody to extend love to them. And if everybody on the planet could extend love to everybody, regardless of our differences, the world would be so much better.
It would.
So this is extreme in some ways, but I think when you're being extremely peaceful or extremely loving, it's okay to be an extremist.
Yeah.
And you and I, we've discovered that we have differences of opinion. We have differences of methodology, and it doesn't matter.
At all.
It doesn't. Because we're on the same frequency or wavelength when it comes to we can still love each other.
Yeah. I'm really trying, Rupert. No, I really am. Here's the thing. I'm never going to love Vladimir Putin. I could name a few others that I'm never going to love because I think that they've done such great injustice to humanity and done so much damage. But I can wish them healing
Yes.
because the thing is that there's some kind of sickness that is in play that makes them seek power at the expense of others, and even lives lost,
Yeah.
countless lives lost in the pursuit of power and money. And I think it's the worst of our attributes as human beings. And so that's what, when I think in terms of universal love, uh, to send out a healing message, and to keep that in my consciousness, because there are some that have just initiated man's inhumanity to man, crimes against humanity. I'm Libran. I am the sign of the scales. I am all about justice and accountability for people who wrong others. And so you understand my internal conflict, which is why I think that it expands my consciousness to go there with you during that meditation, that it opens me up to being, certainly, I'm much less judgmental than I used to be. Much less. I used to be like, that's naughty and that's bad and you shouldn't maybe. And I don't do that anymore. I don't give a shit. People can just be who they are as long as they don't hurt others. But when they cross that line and they hurt and maim and kill others, and not just human beings, but animals, I lose my mind. So expand my mind for me, dear.
Okay.
I could use a good mind, a cleansing.
Well, I know that the reason why you feel that way about some people on the planet is because you love the people that they are harming.
And I mourn their loss.
Yes.
Senseless loss.
And in order to love, those people, I'm not saying that we shouldn't stop people from harming others. If we could take some of the leaders in the world who are causing great pain and suffering to the planet, if we could stop them, I would absolutely stop them, put them in a room somewhere where they can't harm anybody ever again.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to that stage, though, do we still hate them? And that's hard. That's hard. And I'm not going to tell people what is right and what is wrong, because this is not science. This is philosophy. But today, what we're going to try and do is make our planet glow bright with our love. And we're not going to feel any hatred for anybody. Not in the next few minutes, if you're okay with me doing a meditation now.
Please do. I'm sure everyone listening and watching will get something profound out of it.
Okay. So I'm going to ask all of our viewers, unless you're driving or flying, then I recommend that you just find somewhere to sit down or lie down comfortably, and we're going to close our eyes. And this will be a short meditation. And if you like the idea of spreading love, connecting people on this planet, and connecting us with other beings, we're going to fill ourselves with love, and do that now. Okay, so let us all close our eyes. And we're going to relax our bodies and calm our minds. And we are going to start off just by taking our conscious mind around our bodies, letting go of the tensions in our muscles. We're going to start in our feet. Consciously let go of the tensions in the muscles in our feet. Relax. Let us move up to our lower legs. Consciously let go of the tensions in our calf muscles, everywhere in our lower legs. We relax our upper legs. Let the tensions drain away. We flow upwards into our torsos. All muscles disengage. Any knots or tensions in our backs, we undo them. We relax. We relax all the muscles in our sides, our chest areas, our tummies. And we flow our attention up into our shoulders. Let us relax our shoulders and down into our upper arms. Release the tensions in your biceps and your triceps. Also in our lower arms, relax. And feel your hands relax. Let the tensions drain away. We move to our necks and relax our neck muscles. And we go into our heads and our faces. And we build up a lot of tensions and stresses in our faces, in our everyday lives. So let us consciously work now on our faces a little bit. Let go of the tensions in our foreheads, the tensions in our cheeks and our jaws. And we have a lot of muscles that surround our eyes. Let all of those muscles relax, release. Feel that your whole bodies are relaxed and calm. We are not just biological bodies, we are spiritual beings also. We have spirits within us, and they extend out of us also into extra dimensional spaces. Feel the life of your spirit within you now. Feel, even maybe see in your mind your spirits, glowing, beautiful spiritual bodies that course through all parts of our biological bodies, but extend outwards in large auras, beautiful, glowing, luminous spiritual auras. And let us feel harmony within our spirits and within our biological bodies as we relax. Feel the spirit in particular in your chests, where your hearts are. This is where we feel a lot of emotion. Let us feel the emotion of love within our hearts now. We've all experienced times when we have not received enough love in our lives. We know how painful that is. And so we know how valuable the gift of love is to give to others. And it costs us nothing to give this gift. So let us feel within our hearts now our love that we would like to share with others today, growing stronger and brighter. See the brightness growing in your hearts. Let it displace any darkness from within you. Our hearts grow brighter and brighter and stronger and brighter until they ignite like little mini stars of love light in the universe, radiating love light outwards in all directions. Consciously radiate your love light to Andrea for being the leader, the focus of this show and this beautiful movement of spreading love and light out into the universe. Radiate your love outwards to all humans on the planet. Imagine billions of rays of love reaching out and shining upon everybody. Maybe if we can let everybody feel that they are loved, we can make the world a better place. Let those beings above us who look down at humanity and observe us see a multifaceted jewel of love light, a network of love on this planet. Let your love touch everybody, fill everybody with light. Let them feel loved and supported. Let us radiate our love further outwards to all conscious, sentient, terrestrial beings on this planet, to all of our pets, to all of the animals in the wild, and all of the animals that are held captive on this planet. Let us radiate our love to all of them and let them know we care. Let this world glow with our love. And now we look further outwards into extra-dimensional spaces to all of the spirits that are around us in the spirit realm. Let your love radiate out into the spirit realm and touch all spirits around this planet. If there's anybody in particular whom you love that has passed away, think of them, radiate your love to them, and they will know it. They will feel it. Connect with them again. Love everybody. We radiate our love finally to all of our advanced, intelligent, non-human friends, all around and within this planet and this solar system. We radiate love to you all. We are all connected with love. And now, just for a moment or two, allow yourself to blend into them, to be not just individuals, but be a loving, connected collective, regardless of age, gender, ethnic background, ability, appearance, or any of the other forms of discrimination that often keep us apart. Let us connect together as one. And now we draw ourselves back. We can stay loving, but we draw ourselves as individuals back into our biological bodies, as though our biological bodies are spiritual sponges. We let our spirits come back into our bodies, and we feel our spiritual hearts, and we center them where our biological hearts are. We draw back our spiritual hands into our biological hands, our spiritual feet into our biological feet. We do this because we don't want to be drifting around out there in space somewhere. We want to be back whole and healthy and grounded, back where we started. And we hear the sounds of the environment around us. We feel the temperature of the air and the touch of our clothes on our skin. And before we open our eyes, we feel how good it was to be so loving. And maybe, if it feels right to you, resolve to stay that loving throughout the rest of this week and weekend. Now we may open our eyes.
Well, at least this time you didn't make me fall asleep. I mean, there she goes, off in a coma. Oh, it's so blissful. There's something about not only your message, but your delivery, your voice, your tempo, just the way you speak. It is very calming and soothing. And I'm told the same thing all the time. I don't know why, because I don't hear my voice the same way, but I am told that frequently. And it's a gift. It really is. It's a gift. It's not only part of your persona, your physical vessel, but the way that you express yourself is so beautiful. It's so lovely. And you embody the peace that you speak of, I guess is the best way to put it.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel what I'm saying, and it's different every time. I don't go with a script.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you can connect with beings that way. You can do healing. I wouldn't be at all surprised if some of our viewers this evening had little glimpses of spirits or beings while they were meditating.
Mhm.
It's a lovely thing to connect with others in that way.
Yeah, the little points of light. I know. I saw the light grid this morning that surrounds this world, and it is it's so magical. You know, they are intervening on our behalf. They're just passive aggressive about it. You know, they do it in such a discreet, conscientious way that, I mean, for instance, you can have a sighting, you can have an experience, you can have an encounter, and then you're so uplifted by it that imparting the information about it makes that kind of enthusiasm and joyfulness contagious.
Mhm.
And I think that, you know, that's a big part. I know it's a big part of what I do. Uh, and it brings me to a place. I turn into a 5-year-old, like on Christmas morning, like everything's just fabulous and magical and new. And I feel such a sense of belonging, family. Uh, and so I want that for everyone, Rupert. I know you do too.
Yes. So if if there are people out there listening to this feeling like you want this too, Andrea, what advice would you give to people? Because there's a lot of people out there who feel this message, who agree with us, but what practical things, what practical suggestions do you think? Do you have any that people may follow to try and support what we're trying to do? Or I'm not sure.
This is not a belief for me. This is knowledge. Um, and so I will state it as my personal experience. But I find that every opportunity that I have, that I am presented with out in the world, at the grocery store, even in my own home, among my own family members, uh, every opportunity that we have to extend a kindness, to a gesture, a few words of love, uh, just something as simple as holding the door for an elderly person, smiling at them as they go by, making eye contact.
Mm.
That individual might live a desperately lonely life. And that contact with a stranger,
Mm.
momentary as it might be, could be what lifts them out of that despair.
Yes.
And I really do believe that being kind and gentle and compassionate with each other, like Dickens said, keep Christmas in your heart all year round. Um, that's the thing I love most about Christmas. You know, the celebration itself and the reason for it, all of that can all be debated amongst, you know, the scholars and the academics. But it doesn't mean anything to me because I feel Christmas. I feel the generosity of spirit. and the peacefulness that people long to attain. And so when I am out doing my shopping or whatever I have to do, even, going to events, I make sure that I treat every single individual who I encounter as though they are someone that I cherish, someone that I know, someone that I love, and I leave an impression with them. And I do so consciously, but I often do so unconsciously because repetition itself, just being chronically kind, is about the best habit that any of us could foster in our lives. And I also truly believe and know that for every kindness extended, it will come back to you. And so altruism is an interesting thing. And I know that you've studied this. I don't know if there are very many people that are authentically altruistic. Somewhere in the back of their brain, there's this little, what's in it for me thing. But I believe that we can become altruistic, that even if it is counterintuitive to our essential nature, that we can ascend to that higher level of spiritual awareness and camaraderie and actually do for others with zero expectation, knowing that the universe will provide.
That's lovely. And I've seen you at conventions with so many people wanting a few seconds or longer of your time, and you stop and you love everybody. You, sincerely, genuinely, you give your full attention to everybody and you care about them.
I do.
And I think that is so wonderful to see, to witness, and it's such a good, you make such a good role model for people in that way.
Now, I can be a wild woman sometimes too. I can, somebody goes after someone I love, I turn suddenly into a bitch from hell, but I channel that. I keep it, relatively civil. I haven't killed anyone that I know of.
That's commendable.
Thank you. Sometimes it's an effort. Yeah, sometimes it's an effort, but no, it's my joy. I know I use that word a lot, but it brings me joy. And yet I'm also complicated enough to be standing behind my table. 5 minutes? Really, Bill? Really? He's messing with the clock, man, because there is no way an hour just spun by. I'll be fully engaged with a person that has come up to my table, but in the back of my mind, I also harbor a little bit of sadness because my peanut buttercup isn't with me, or I'm worried about my mom, who is slowly leaving us and in hospice care, and that is omnipresent in my mind. Wondering if dad's doing okay, how's my family, the people that I am most adhered to emotionally, and of course peanut butter, who is asleep at my feet. That is, it just it ekes away at me. It troubles me. I want to be in two places at once. I want to be accessible to everyone simultaneously.
Yes.
And that's an unfair expectation for me to put on myself.
Yes, while we're human. But when in the future, when we do reach that level of being a collective, then you will be able to give love to everybody at the same time and attention. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Well, right now she's snoring. Mother's daughter. She's so cute. Oh, I just adore you. You're a wonderful, most enriching addition to my life. We've only known each other for about 6 months, 3 minutes. You know, his little countdown in private chat over here is for the birds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So I'll say class dismissed in just 1 minute, Bill. Oh, the man behind the curtain. I'll get him. Oh, I'll get him when he's not watching. This is a wonderful opportunity to be able to express my affection for you, my wonder at what you've accomplished in your life, and my gratitude for finding you when I did. And I know that my crew, my flock, my tribe, my whatever that follows me everywhere is just going to fall in love with you as well. And in that way it burgeons, it grows exponentially, it grows in terms of our impact on the planet. So that said, I want to thank you very much for co-hosting Soul School with me tonight. Always bearing in mind that Soul School sucks because the test always precedes the lessons. But still, it's our reality. And but let's all bust through our egg out of 3D and see what the universe holds in store for us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Andrea. It's been a pleasure being on this show, and much love to you and to everybody out there in the universe.
And with that, we wish you all a pleasant evening and declare this class dismissed. Good night.